All right, it's 8:02. Please call Water and Light Commission meeting to order for February 19th, 2025. Please call roll. Thanks, buddy.
Commissioner Grindy?
Yes.
Commissioner Rapaz?
Yes.
Commissioner Riopel?
Yes.
All right. Approve minutes from previous meeting, February 5th, 2025, please.
I'll move. Second.
Please call roll.
Grindy?
Yes.
Rapaz?
Yes.
Riopel?
Yes.
Bills and payroll.
I'll move. Second.
Please call roll.
Grindy?
Yes.
Rapaz?
Yes.
Riopel?
Yes.
Todd.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, sir.
Just a few items. At 2022 equipment and materials, we talked a little bit about last time about the transformers we were still waiting on from Board of States. We still have not gotten us a new delivery date on those. And between Todd and I, we were going to give them 2 weeks to do that. And that's up now, so I think we're going to just cancel that order. Not wait anymore for them, so I'll get a hold of them today and do that, and we'll put that to bed. So, 2023 miscellaneous, that project is now closed out, so there will be no more on that. 2025 miscellaneous, still on schedule to have plans and specs ready for that for approval at your next commission meeting in March. So that's good there. Business Highway 2 lighting project. We're still waiting for the signatures to come back from MnDOT with the final approval on that, but last we heard, that's all good to go. So right now we're just trying to get the plans and specs done so we can get that out for construction, or for bids, not for construction. So. Other than that, I've been working on some mapping with Lance, some plat easements that Steve is putting together for some city properties, and then whatever else comes up. So that's all I have for my report.
Any questions for Todd?
No.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And Steve isn't here today and not much to report, correct?
That's correct.
Mr. Gallstead.
Not much to report. I know Keith had given me an agreement to take a look at. I started on it, and I just haven't been able to finish it, so I'll have it for the next meeting. Other than that, just a good morning and stay warm.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you. Old business, nothing. Material recommendations, 2025 electrical equipment and materials bid.
That is me again. We had the bid opening for the 2025 material on the 12th. We got 6 bids. That's pretty much what we were expecting. We got bids on all 17 material items. The most notable, we had a few items that were low bid that didn't meet the spec. So they got tossed out. Just looking through here. That was, otherwise it was pretty much all the low bid met the spec. A lot of our items were single, I want to call it single source, I guess. There was one particular item that we wanted, so there was no alternatives with those. So it was somewhat easy to go through and evaluate. One comment I did have was this has probably been one of the worst years as far as getting people to submit the correct information. I don't know if it's a factor of new people coming in that aren't used to how things are supposed to be submitted or what, but there was a lot of stuff that was not in there that was supposed to be. So took a little more effort to get it all. Of the 6 bids, 5 of the suppliers were recommending to be awarded material. Gray Bar did not receive any anything of the items. Otherwise, it was pretty evenly split over the other 5, which you can see on that first sheet that I handed out there. So we're recommending award of each of the 17 line items to the suppliers listed on that first tabulation sheet in the amounts listed at the bottom there. Well, have there any questions on? I know you just first got it to you, so.
Well, it's nice to see most of them are in stock. There's a few that are.
Yeah, the longest lead time I think was out 30-some weeks.
Yep.
And that's an item we expected. Sure. We've had problems getting that in the past. That same item is just, for whatever reason, it's way out there in delivery. So,
Looking for a motion.
I'll motion that we accept the bid prices as submitted on the tabulation sheet.
And that's a second by Mr. Quirk, correct?
Yeah.
Please call roll.
Grindy,
Yes.
Quirk,
Yeah.
Rapaz.
Yes.
Riepel.
Yes.
Thank you.
all right, we'll get that stuff on order.
Load management system updates.
Looking for authorization to spend up to a little over $10,000 to add some functionality to our load management system to automate some of our processes. The quote should be in front of you.
I will move.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Quirk. Call roll.
Grindy,
Yes.
Quirk,
Yeah.
Rapaz.
Yes.
Riepel.
Yes.
Thank you, Corey. Bucket truck bids.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Got a request for the bucket truck. Been working on this one for a while. The quotes came in. We went with a couple local. The reasoning was if we had any warranty work on the truck, and we were dealing with the local. As you can see the bids there, my recommendation would be to award C&M Ford for the quoted price of $59,000. So looking for a motion for that.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Please call roll.
Grindy,
Yes.
Quirk,
Yeah.
Rapaz.
Yes.
Riepel.
Yes.
All right, Altec bucket truck body.
Okay, the next one up there is the bucket truck body. We did have the supplier here. We went through it with all the crews. Same thing, there's quite a few changes on here. We did make some adjustments. We went away from diesel trucks, so to get what we want and what's going to work the best for us is the Altec trucks. So my recommendation is to approve the AT40G Altec bucket truck as the body as presented in the paperwork there.
I will move.
I'll second.
Please call roll.
Grindy,
Yes.
Quirk,
Yeah.
Rapaz.
Yes.
Riepel.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Todd. Assistant line foreman hire.
Oh, you kind of went out of order, didn't you? But that's all.
No? Oh, yes, I did.
Want to do me?
Jesus.
You go ahead.
I'm sorry, I forgot the bosses.
She doesn't have,
Assistant,
she doesn't have her crutches, so that's why you didn't
we
recognize.
don't want to charge it. Sorry about that.
All good. Good morning. Yeah, 2024 accounts for charge off. We do this annually at the second meeting in February. After we've gotten kind of our last trust statements and stuff from First Collections. And so you kind of see the breakdown there. I do have the couple years to compare, and so I break it down by city charges and the water and electric charges. So yeah, roughly 4,000 more overall than last year. Yeah, I do think that we struggled a lot more, which is another reason why we did increase the deposits to hopefully help bring this number back down, that we have those deposits on hand for people, should they leave us with their final bills. The next section there on the sheet talks or has the total charges collected from First Collections. And so you saw, a roughly, $2,600 less, and then just a little bit less on fees. I feel they've gone through some different people, and I feel like they go in waves of where they're really going through a lot of them and getting a lot, and sometimes we're not, and then they have to switch counties, and it's kind of a lot of work on their end for sure. But yeah, so you see the breakdown there, and if you have any questions for me, otherwise recommend to approve and sign the 2024 accounts for charge off that I believe Kristen handed down to you guys.
I have one question. You've done this now for a few years, and you guys do a really good job at collecting as much as possible. Do you see any kind of a trend here? I mean, we're continually going up with this every year, and our population, I don't think, is really increasing that much. I'm just wondering if you have any insight or ideas as to why we're increasing, or is it just the norm?
Yeah, so I did look back at like the couple of years prior. Obviously, so 2020, 2021, we got a significant amount of money from Tri-Valley, both for water and electric. And so that was huge for a lot of people that, even if they did happen to leave us kind of high and dry, that, some of those even ended up still with a credit at the end. I mean, it was kind of crazy how much money was available then. Then in 2022, it was up to overall between city and water and electric, like just shy of 36,000. So we have trended downwards now. That also sometimes could be a timing issue from year to year, just depending on staffing and training, and if we're able to hurry up and get in one more submittal back to First Collections prior to 12/31, then 2022 maybe was a little high, because of that. But yeah, and then same thing. Alysa's been working really hard, trying to get them turned over in a timely fashion. So then, obviously we have a little bit of an uptick again, but overall it's a lot less than it used to be when I first started. So that's a lot of work by these ladies, and I can give you guys more history too if you want me to go back however far, so we can kind of compare and see what it was from 10 years ago till now. I mean, it definitely is better, but I guess I always think it can still be better, but yeah.
And then maybe check with, rate increases too, what that delta is too.
Right, yeah. So yeah, some of it's, for sure, rate increases, and that's why, like I said, I'm hopeful that some of those deposits will kind of help offset some of that. Yeah. I'm also hopeful that when we get new software that it has a better way to maybe track if somebody's missed a payment arrangement, so then they get, caught right away. Otherwise, we're manually having to watch those. And so then it's like, oh, well, yep, they're gone. They missed their arrangement, and now they have another month bill that then we're stuck with, so.
Yeah.
All right.
Any other questions?
No.
Okay.
We have a motion.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Okay, please call roll.
Grindy,
Yes.
Quirk,
Yeah.
Rapaz,
Yes.
Riepel.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, now Keith, you corrected me.
I'm here. It's your turn now. So assistant line foreman hire, Dave Solarski retired 1/31/2025, and so we're looking for commission approval to post the position internally and notify the civil service to start the process. They'll post it for 10 days and we'll go from there. So I guess I'm looking for permission to do that.
I will move.
Second.
Please call roll.
Grindy,
Yes.
Quirk,
Yes.
Rapaz,
Yes.
Riepel.
Yes.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Mr. Riopel.
You're welcome.
All right.
I didn't say anything.
You notice how I said Mr.
Energy Resource Interconnection annual filing.
Yes, so this is something that we do annually, and I will just read what I write every year. In February of 2018, the Water and Light Commission adopted a distributed energy resource interconnection policy and rules. The rules required that the Water and Light Department annually provide average wholesale and retail cost rates and report any qualifying facilities served or not served under the utility energy rates provided. The information is to be filed at the Water and Light Department Business Office. The rules are also required that the Water and Light Department annually publish the following statement in a newsletter or similar mailing to each customer. The Water and Light Department is obligated to interconnect with and purchase electricity from cogenerators and small power producers. We have no qualifying facilities to report at this time. Attached are the Water and Light Department average retail energy rates. You should have those, and I put them in the booklets already, and Jordan will put that on the website if he hasn't already did that. And then we'll go from there. So if anybody wants to look at it, there's books, there's hard copies, and then there's it's on the website. And so we're recommending that the Water and Light Commission accept the updates as presented and instruct staff to file the Distributed Energy Resource Interconnection booklet at the Water and Light Department Business Office and publish that the Water and Light Department is obligated to interconnect with a purchased electricity from cogenerators and small power producers. So it's an annual thing that we are required to do, and that's why it's here. So I'm looking for a motion on that.
Move.
Second.
Please call roll.
Grindy.
Yes.
Quirk.
Yes.
Rapaz.
Yes.
Riopel.
Yes.
All right, thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Department heads, Todd.
Electric crews, MMUA has some testing equipment that Keith Bickelum brings up, and guys we're testing the hot sticks and the grounds, and then we certified everything and have that in our reports. So they're working on that. We have had had one water meter freeze up in a house, and that was due to they hadn't had the heater on down in the crawl space, so the water meter didn't freeze, but they were able to get it going again. And then we do have a list. Tyler made some call-outs and then got replies back from the homeowners, so they're monitoring the water temperature so they don't freeze up. So if they get any lower, you'll probably have to let it run a little bit. And then, as Todd mentioned, working on the material bid sheets. And I did have a meeting with Harry Ulen on Monday. He was in town from Fargo, from American Crystal Sugar. He dropped off some new maps for their loads out at Crystal just to make sure so we could see what station everything is on. And we did visit a little bit about the fan load update that they had canceled out on. So as of right now, it's going to stay where it is. They don't plan on adding any additions. So that was a good visit with those guys. And working on the narrative report for Brianna for 2024. And then, as Todd mentioned, we're doing the mapping updating. Other than that, business as usual. Any questions?
Questions for Todd? Thank you, bud.
Thank you.
Thanks, Todd.
Brian.
Morning.
Morning.
Excuse me. I recently accepted a bid from Electro Watchman Incorporated to incorporate fire detection with our current system that monitors environmental as well as process alarms at the water treatment plant. This was an expense that was anticipated and is budgeted for in 2025. Keith and I attended the West Central Regional Water District meeting that was held at the DNR office last week. Then also last week I participated in a lead and copper sampling webinar that was provided by the Department of Health And that's because 2025 is East Grand Forks scheduled sampling year for lead and copper. Yesterday, I participated in a LAWA-TAC Operations Planning Subcommittee webinar, Teams meeting, excuse me. And that's involving now the design of the Biota water treatment plant that will be located near the McGlusky Canal. And then lastly, later today, we'll be conducting our annual risk management plan chlorine safety meeting with MMUA, and we'll be covering tank changing, standard operating procedures, and performing a job hazard analysis. Other than that.
Any questions for Brian? No. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Brianna.
Okay, so yeah, just been really busy doing a lot of the 2024 audit items. There's a lot of items that are a little easier and quick and already done, like sending off statements and unbilled revenue for year end and any of that kind of stuff. So getting all that stuff submitted. The biggest thing that we always wait for are our invoices from vendors for 2024 expenses or projects. And I always wait until our last AP before I do any kind of fixed assets and whatever, just to avoid any duplicate work on entering those into the system. So yeah, our next meeting will be our last meeting for any 2024 expenses. So if we have any if we have any outstanding, that's a note to those guys. Been busy working or reviewing some of the functional requirements to go out for a request for proposal that Corey had given us that we can all go and access, and so want to review and do some double checking, especially with Kristen and for utility billing, because there's a lot of moving pieces there and we want to make sure to get it right. So unless you have any questions from me.
No. Thank you, ma'am. Carla.
Just working with Brianna. Excuse me, Brianna, trying to get it all done.
Thank you.
Unless you have questions.
Any questions for Carla?
No.
Thank you, Carla.
Thank you.
Jordan. The money giveawayer.
Morning.
Hey, bud.
Just a couple things on rebates here. We got 3 commercial rebates paid out. One's going to be for the warehouses for Jetway Inc., so it's going to be all external lighting. 2 city projects are completed. External lighting over at the Campbell Library, and then the Parks Department maintenance shop. Looking forward, I've got an insulation project at the East Grand Inn we're trying to finish up, and then trying to get caught up on American Crystal VFD and lighting rebates from the last couple quarters. And besides those, today I've got the 3rd of our Eco Stakeholder Series Zoom meetings, where we just go over the changes they've made in 2022, how it affects us, and how other utilities are, working with that. And then I've also been working with the Department of Commerce on just going over the reporting I submitted back in August. They have a new site, a new platform they've been trying to make updates to, and they've had some issues with that, so trying to get that all rectified. Any questions?
Thank you, sir. Corey, anything else?
Nothing business as usual.
Thank you, bud. Mr. Keith.
So maybe to elaborate a little more on what Brian said about the DNR visit, we went to Bemidji. It was on the 13th. I had offered to introduce him to some of the Eco Water staff, which are the regulatory side of the permitting, and so we had a good meeting. We talked for about an hour and a half, and so to get out ahead of the issues, if there's any questions or comments that would come from agencies, it's best to get involved with them early on, and I thought it was a very productive meeting for all that attended. So we've offered our assistance, and we have a reason for doing that because they asked us if we would be a potential supplier of water, and so it's good to be at the table there when we're doing that. So that's what that one was about. The other thing is Washington, D.C. trip. I'm going to be going to D.C. this weekend. I'll be there till Thursday. I'll be back Thursday. It's the APPA legislative rally. We'll be meeting with Fischbach, Representative Fischbach, Senator Smith, Senator Klobuchar. a couple of the issues that we're dealing with now is they want to do away with the tax exempt status for the bonding, local and state bonding. They want to change that, so that's a big deal. We're going to talk to them about that. And then also the supply chain is still kind of there, so we're going to discuss that. And then the third one would be the Infrastructure Investment Act. That's some money that the Biden administration gave out since Trump took over. Now they're, we want to make sure we'll lobby for that as well, so to keep that in place, because we have funding that MMPA is getting from that. And so they're kind of the main issues that we'll be lobbying for when we go down there. And then other than that, tomorrow I'm meeting with Tessa Melvin from Drone and Associates, and we're going to get, I'm going to start the initial discussion on the wage study process that we're going to be doing over the next couple months. And that's about it as far as the major things.
Bite my lip on the last one.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
You bet.
Commissioner reports, anything?
Nothing for me.
No. Okay. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Please call roll.
Grindy,
Yes.
Quirk,
Yes.
Rapaz,
Yes.
Riepel.
Yes.
See you, Mike.
Yeah. See you later.
See you, Mike.
See?